Elly De La Cruz is the most electric player in baseball, but today he has a big problem as I shrunk him down to be the smallest player in the league. Standing at 5'1", he doesn't look like his normal self, and the only way we can get him back to his normal height is by spinning this wheel whenever he has a good game, but let me warn you, that will not be easy as he has a 0 rating in every stat. Our goal is to upgrade De La Cruz past his normal height, turning him into a giant and winning the Reds a World Series. I don't know how he's gonna get on base as a 5'1", 0 overall player, but we have to figure it out as there's good contact right to the shortstop. I'm worried that might be the closest we get for a while, and there's a lot at stake, as failing to complete these goals in 2 years will give a gift card to a random commoner. Obviously, I don't want to give away money, so it's time to lock in, but whenever we actually make contact, it's an easy play for the D. We just went a full series without a base hit, so we have to come through against the Texas Rangers, and this finally drops in. That is what we've been waiting for, as we now get to spin from the Wheel of Fortune to earn either a stat upgrade or a height upgrade, and we're starting with 50 points. We can spend 50 points on our stats, so I'm going for contact and speed, and while that is not a height upgrade, improving our other stats should help us perform to earn more spins. We definitely need to improve our height though, because right now we're kind of built like the Rizzler, but right as I say that, we earn another upgrade and secure a multi-hit performance. After those 2 hits, our batting average shoots up to 143, and I hope another spin from the wheel can help us out more as we grow 3 inches. It may not be 6 inches, but 3 is more than enough, as we are now 5'4", looking a lot less chunky. Will this get down? It doesn't. A huge part of Elly's game is his dynamic fielding ability, but clearly that is gone, so we need another upgrade to try and fix that, and there it is. Without their superstar, the Reds are losing a bunch of games, but every spin from the wheel gets us a little bit better, as he is already up to 5'7". He is already way taller, so just imagine what it'll look like when he's a giant, but unfortunately, he is still just 6 overall. His terrible ratings are making it so tough to earn upgrades, as he nearly sneaks that up the middle, and it's been several games since we've gotten a base hit, but there we go, that drops into right center. We really needed that, and I forgot he's the worst defender of all time, so hopefully we can upgrade our defense sooner rather than later. De La Cruz, beat it out, let's go. Our second multi-hit game of the video earns us another spin, and that is awesome, because we're adding plus 15 to both of our power ratings, which gets De La Cruz to 11 overall. He breaks double digits. We're not hitting dingers anytime soon, but those power upgrades help us drive in our first 2 runs of the year, so we earn another upgrade, and all I can say is please help our defense. We can't even turn a double play. That is a pool noodle compared to his usual rocket for an arm, so I'm begging for the wheel to give us anything to improve our stats, and plus 20 speed, that'll do. That is now his highest stat at 51, and that should help us out on both offense and defense. He is cruising. That one upgrade makes me so much more confident about this challenge. As we bloop this into foul territory, it gets down and stays fair. It may have taken us a while to get going, but now the upgrades are coming so fast, as there's another single, but we still don't have an extra base hit on the year, which I definitely want to change. For our next upgrade, we earned 30 points to all fielding stats, and that jumps us to 23 overall, so hopefully that means our defense is a little bit better, and apparently not yet. It might have gotten worse. Even after all of these upgrades, hitting weak singles is all I know how to do, but I need another one if I want to earn another upgrade. Unfortunately though, we do not get it, so De La Cruz does not earn a wheel spin in this series, and even worse, the Reds are 6-13. We have to improve quickly because we are holding this team back, and there's no way this team's winning a World Series with the worst shortstop in league history. Right after I say that though, he drives in a run and now has a 3-hit performance, which makes up for our embarrassing games against Seattle and earns us another spin. This upgrade was very worth the wait and was our best yet, as plus 20 to all of our hitting stats gets us up to 39 overall. This is our chance to really start cooking, and I thought that was the no doubt animation. That got me excited. De La Cruz is still 5'7", but I feel like the upgrades are going to come much faster, as I can already tell we're making much better contact as this drops into right center. We earned another upgrade spinning the magic wheel, which barely lands on plus 4 inches to get us up to 5'11". We are now just the length of a $5 footlong away from completing the challenge, as this is hit pretty well, so it shouldn't be long before we get our first extra base hit. We'll get there soon, but it is also no coincidence that we're finally winning games again, as Elly De La Cruz is no longer 0 overall. That went right at their defender. I am swinging for the fences every chance I get until I get to second base. This could be the one, but I get robbed on the dive. What more do I need to do? Out of every team in the league, the Marlins are diving around like the Savannah Bananas, so even though I'm salty, we do earn an upgrade. This is launched to right field, and I'm convinced this game hates me. He put his big stick right on it, showing off the power, but was still a few inches away from satisfaction, so hopefully this upgrade helps us as we earn another one against the Rockies. I will take all the singles I can get as a 30 39 overall, but at some point I want to go for second. This could be our chance, but our teammate does not let us. I cannot even count all the times we've been close to an extra base hit, but finally we dig this one out, and for the first time in the video, we run to second. Not only did he double, but that 3-hit performance made all the difference for Cincinnati, so we cash in on the career day with another wheel spin, getting De La Cruz back to his normal height, but we're going for the moon. His batting average is already up to 232, which may not seem like a big deal, but it certainly is for a guy who started at 0 overall. And in our very next game, we double again, earning us another spin. That might be the best upgrade on the entire wheel, as we jump all the way up to 57 overall. So De La Cruz is slowly turning back into the franchise player the Reds need him to be, but he is still lacking power. Every single long ball we hit ends up at the warning track, and this one is no exception. So we fail to earn an upgrade in this big win, and that is not ideal because as our stats continue to improve, it'll take better performances to earn more upgrades, as that's another flyout. Because of these failures, it's been a while since we've earned an upgrade, but now I'm going for second base as this stays fair down the line. The outfielder cannot get it, so that is a double. That earns us another spin and another plus 15. So once again, Elly De La Cruz is the best shortstop in the organization, and we are moving him all the way back up to number 2 in the lineup, which is long overdue. Just to give him credit though, he has played pretty well considering he started at 0 overall, as he's batting over 200, and while that is not good, it should only improve for the rest of the year. The Reds are in second place, and we are 6 inches away from maximum height, and finally, there's a home run. The new upgrades are already paying off, and this could be another one. Going back to the wall, it is caught. Hitting another dinger the same game as our first would have been insane, but even with my good performance, we lose to Washington, so pretty soon I need to be thinking about upgrading the team. Even when he's a giant, he won't be able to carry the team, but we are so close to maxing out his height. He is 6'8". He is 1 upgrade away from getting there, and when he does, I will make every change I can to this team to make Elly De La Cruz the tallest player in World Series history. We don't max out our height, but there's a plus 15 to power, so De La Cruz is now the second best player on the Reds at 81 overall. This team needs a lot of help. Right now, they're in second place at the start of May, but in order to make the playoffs, they at least need a wild card spot, and unfortunately, they are in 7th place. However, with the power boost and the torpedo bat, De La Cruz should be hitting dingers all over the field, and apparently not, as the warning track has edged us all day, but there's our first walk. All we need now is a base hit to earn another wheel spin, and there it is. So now De La Cruz can officially become a giant, but not quite yet. We have to wait a little bit longer, but to be fair, this upgrade is very worth it, as Elly De La Cruz gets a massive upgrade and is now the best player on the Reds at 97 overall. That is even higher than the rosters have him, and that's insane considering he has a 484 OPS. He is so close to reaching final boss form, and on his first at bat of the new upgrade, he goes deep to dead center, and it's a bit crazy to say, but that is only his second home run of the entire year. Without a doubt, that earns him another upgrade. Can he go yard again? It drifts outside. There will be no multi-home run game, but we still don't upgrade our height, and while this is a very nice upgrade, we're so close to 6'11". Regardless, Elly De La Cruz officially transforms from 0 to 99 overall, and with him at his very best, we're winning more games than ever. His average is rapidly approaching 300 as we hit an Oppo Taco nuke with ease, and that earns us the victory over our division rival, which is definitely good for an upgrade. It has been 3 or 4 spins since the last time we got a height upgrade, so I am begging for one, and finally, there it is. Elly De La Cruz is now a 99 overall giant, and look at him in the top corner, he barely fits on the screen. That's iconic. Alright, now it is time to improve this team, and they need a lot more than I expected. They could definitely use another starter along with some more relievers, and on top of that, they're weak at pretty much every offensive position except for shortstop. We probably won't find much on the trade block, but I do see Luis Garcia, who's hitting 301, and we can pull off this trade for pretty much nothing. We're also adding Drew Rasmussen to the bullpen, who's having a very good season, but without a doubt, our biggest addition so far is Spencer Torkelson, who's been raking in real life and also putting up very good numbers in the game. We're gonna make this move. We only have 2 years to win a World Series, so we have to be aggressive, and to add to our starting pitching, this guy has 91 walks per 9. That is another trade in the books, but now I want to make a legitimate blockbuster move trading for Byron Buxton and Joe Ryan, but the fact they're even considering this is ridiculous. I'm gonna add one more player, that gets the deal done. There's no way. Trade logic is completely broken, as I'm now trading for 2 of the Cubs' best players in return for Hunter Green, which gets done, and I would be shocked if this absolute dream team did not win the World Series, especially looking at their loaded lineup. This is ridiculous. Regardless though, the hardest part of this challenge is Elly De La Cruz is the only player we can control, but here's a massive home run as our new offense put up 11 runs against the Cubs. Even though he's a giant, Giant, we are still spinning the wheel because maxing out Elly increases our chances of winning it all, and he's already close to 99 in every stat. Even though we have the best team in baseball, we're still in second place in our division after a slow start, but we're trying to change that as De La Cruz gives his team the early lead with a home run followed by a double. We have a huge lead in the 7th inning, and there is another no doubt 3-run shot for our second dinger of the game. So that is another wheel spin, but we go for the hat trick. 3 dingers in 1 game for the Giant, and this might be the last upgrade we need as we get plus 100 points, and I really don't think we can be better than this. We're done. Right now, the Reds are 5 games back, but with this team, I really expect that to change by the end of the month as we are winning all of these games, and at the break, we are 57 and 40. Despite starting at 0 overall, Elly De La Cruz is leading the team in home runs and RBIs, but for some reason, the Brewers will not go away, so we need to take them down. Our roster is much better than them, but they're beating us in the 6th inning, at least until De La Cruz goes yard, as that is the X factor he brings to the table, and there is another one. That is a victory against our biggest competitor, and in our next 2 games against them, we are able to get the sweep. So now our next challenge is to dethrone the best team in baseball, the Dodgers. Even after all of our moves, they are still ranked higher than us, so they are our biggest obstacle, but look at the speed from Elly. He has very long legs and can move them extremely fast, so it seems Cincinnati is too much for even baseball's biggest super team, and I'm definitely hoping we see them again in the playoffs. Simming through September, we still have not lost a game, at least until this one, and of course, that was enough to jump the Dodgers, securing 111 wins, although the National League playoff picture is going to be pretty competitive with 3 100-win teams. Despite starting at 0 overall, Elly De La Cruz made a late push for MVP, winning it over Juan Soto and Ohtani, and he also led the league in pretty much everything. It also helped having a very good team alongside him as Torque and Byron Buxton hit over 30 bombs while there were several other guys with over 20. Along with that, we traded for 5 out of our 6 pitchers, which really paid off as our rotation was the best in baseball and our bullpen was also very consistent. We will be taking on the San Francisco Giants in the first round, and looking at their squad, I have a strong feeling this is gonna go great. I know I gave myself 2 years to win it all, but I am so confident that I'm changing my rules. If we don't win it all this season, I am giving away a gift card. So far though, De La Cruz is not off to a good start, flying out to center field, but fortunately it did not cost us the win. I'm not worried about the Giants, but the Dodgers and the Phillies are a different story. But right as I say that, the Giants tie it up. This is De La Cruz's time to finally deliver, and he goes high on the slider for an easy double. And now of course you know I want to steal a base, taking off with 99 speed. That's too easy. De La Cruz is the winning run at third base, but we cannot advance here. So now it is all up to Luis Garcia facing an 0-2 count, and this will clear the infield to give Cincinnati the walk-off. That was a bit too close for comfort, but hopefully now we're locked in as De La Cruz sends us into right center. It is not far enough. So far, that extra inning double is the only hit of the playoffs, but here's an RBI single as we are on our way to a deceptive victory to earn the sweep. Stay fair, let's go. De La Cruz is coming alive at just the right time as here is another 2 RBIs, and the Reds are moving on to the next round. We will be taking on the Dodgers or the Phillies depending on who wins, and either one would be a huge challenge. It's Philadelphia. This will definitely not be easy because they also won 100 games just like us and the Dodgers, and looking at all their crowns, I'm a little nervous. We cannot afford the performance we had in our first 2 games as the Phillies already have a 2-1 lead and we ground out. Unfortunately, our entire offense has disappeared against Zach Wheeler, so Philadelphia takes game 1. This is the worst possible time to enter a slump, so it's time to lock in as De La Cruz gets on base, and his team would score him from there, which was enough to win the game. So far, the Phillies have been way more challenging for us than LA, and we are so fortunate our team rallied to win game 3. Once again, Elly De La Cruz did not have a single hit, and for us to comfortably win that absolutely needs to change as this is going into opposite field. Is it deep enough? Of course not. I cannot count the number of times this video I have come up short at the warning track, but finally we hit this one off the wall, and thanks to the RBI, we win our 3rd game in a row. The Phillies are facing elimination, so we just need one more big game, but De La Cruz starts out with the ground out, but now in a 1-1 tie, he scores 2 runs. There is another big play for Elly, and that sparked a massive rally from our offense. Good night, Philadelphia. After a rough start to the series, the Reds are National League champs, so we have punched our ticket to the big game where we're taking on the Blue Jays. They are definitely not the team I expected to be playing, but at least this should make it pretty easy. However, I really hope I didn't just jinx myself because we're down 2-1, and all I'm saying is imagine how embarrassing it would be to lose a challenge because of Toronto. Fortunately though, our offense woke up winning game 1, but now game 2 is tied up in the 9th inning. De La Cruz, please, driving this to center field. Does it have enough distance? Back to the wall. ball, and it is gone. There is a walk-off World Series home run for Elly De La Cruz, and that might be as close as Toronto gets. I'm going to simulate one game, which we win, so we are on the verge of a World Series sweep, and that is an amazing start. Both of his past 2 at-bats have been home runs, and this one puts Cincinnati on the board as De La Cruz hits a double to extend their lead. He has scored 4 out of their 5 runs today, as here comes another double into the left center gap. So despite starting as a 0 overall tiny player, Elly De La Cruz has won the Reds a World Series. This was a very fun video, and if you want to see more, click right here to see more of my content.